Hey, this is Diane from Teach Pre-K, and one question that I keep getting is how do I run centers in my classroom? And while I would love to film centers as they're actually happening, our school has policy against that. So I'm going to film my classroom. I'm here on a Sunday and kind of give you the general overview of how I run centers when I have two teachers, myself and an aide, or when I have three, those wonderful 2 days a week where there are myself and two aides. But I'll show you all of my free choice centers and two teacher centers and then three teacher centers and how we figure out what we're going to do for the day. Okay, some of you may know my classroom pretty well from my setup videos, but I'm just going to go through what my free choice centers are. So here, this is my art center, which is a lot of times a teacher center. I've got my sensory center. This week I have forest animals, trees, scoops, and scissor scoops in there with some rice that I dyed dark brown. I have 4 necklaces for the sensory bin center. So the kids know if they want to play over here, they need a necklace to claim a spot. I have my writing center, which is also a free choice center. I have a bunch of forest animal coloring sheets. I've got markers up here, plain paper, colored pencils, and regular pencils there. I have a spot for 2 necklaces, but this class, they're not big colorers, so I don't really need to enforce that. Here I've got my dramatic play center, which also has 4 necklaces. It is a campground. This was here for emergency center and it needs to go away. But I have got all this camping equipment that will go out, plus animals, plus a pop-up tent that will also come in here. So here's a little overview of that free choice center. So they will need to wear a necklace in this center. If they come over and there's no necklace, they know they have to find a different place to play. Here I have my block center with this cute little Duplo forest. It also has 4 necklaces. We will put out all these other Duplos tomorrow. So if they want to come over here and make a forest and habitat and play with animals and Duplos, they know that they have got to wear a necklace. Across from there, I have got my Sequin Wall, which they can play at anytime they want. I have got puzzles, I have got books, and I have got magnets in this center. Over here will become my little family wall, and family pictures will go there. So those are my free choice centers. Tomorrow, it is just myself and one aide, and we will be making these foxes. So we will do up to 3 kids. They will paint the inside of this plate orange tomorrow. The following day, we will fold that painted plate to make a fox. They will get to put on the ears, the eyes, and the nose. So I will have 1 teacher here with 3 kids. Now we all know that some of the kids are going to take a very long time, do small brush strokes, and cover up every bit of white on their plate, especially since it's Monday and they get all these fun new things to play with. That's going to be the norm. We will encourage them to cover all the white spaces with orange, but that's not necessarily going to happen. We will have some kids who do the bare minimum and they will be off and running. So when they're done at this center, they can go to any of the free choice centers. And we will pull someone from the free choice centers to come and take that spot. One thing I like to do is not grab somebody who just finished the other teacher center that I'll show you in just 1 minute, but to find someone who already had a chance to play at one of our fun centers to come and take that spot so that we're rotating more kids that can get to those extra fun centers. Our second teacher center for that day is going to be the Sneaky Snacky Squirrel game. Now there's enough of these little tree stumps for the teacher to have 4 kids here at a time. I think they will do better with 2 or 3 kids, so that's why I have it set up like this. The object of this game is to spin the spinner. I don't play by the rules because these guys are really little. Just whatever color they land on, they pick that color of acorn off the tree. They put it in their specific spot in their tree stump until they have all 5 colors of acorns in their tree stump. Now, same with this center. Once someone finishes and fills up their tree stump, they are free to go to any of our free choice centers, as long as there's a necklace available. I only have 13 kids in one class and 14 in another. So this isn't a huge problem right now. It used to be a huge problem when I had 18 and 16 kids. Right now we are at a limit of 15 and 14 kids in each class respectively, but it could go as high as 14 and 16 or 15 and 16. But we're lucky this year because we're still dealing with some COVID numbers. So that is for 2 teachers. Okay, I put out a third teacher center so you can see how things would work if we had myself and 2 aides. I have got this make a match center. I've got 4 mats out right now. I've got 4 more here. We pass these around until everyone has done one, and then we pass around more. It's a visual discrimination game. Both my 3 and 4s and my 4 and 5s really like it. It's super easy for the 4 and 5, but they love doing things where they can feel super successful. So it's the same thing here. One teacher can handle 3 to 4 kids at this center. Once one has done all of those, they can choose a free choice center, or they may be called to Sneaky Snacky Squirrel or over to painting a forest animal. We try to give everybody as close to equal amount of time at our free choice centers that we can. I like to come over and find someone who's been camping for a while and say, hey, will you come and play Sneaky Snacky Squirrel with me? We also, at each teacher-led center, have a list of names that we have them find their names and cross them off as we go so we can keep track of who has been to our centers. I love it because it's another way for them to practice name recognition. And it's just super easy. It serves 2 purposes. They can find their name and we can keep track of who's been to our center. When we have 2 teachers in the room, things move at a super, super quick pace. And as you can see, I have a teacher stationed here that can watch the rug, the puzzle table, the books, and the magnet board, and also keep a close eye on the block center and the campground. The teacher who would be here can keep a closer eye on the campground and the block center, whereas the teacher who is over here painting can keep a close eye on what's going on at the sensory bin center, the writing center, and when there's only 2 teachers, has a more direct line of sight to our dramatic play center. I can also make sure that no one's doing crazy stuff at the sink, which happens sometimes. But that is how we do the general flow. As soon as someone leaves our center, we pick someone from the free choice centers to come on in. We keep track of them with our checkoff sheets. and make sure that we get everybody coming to our centers. One way I make this easier for us is when I come to my center, I immediately cross off anyone who is absent. So all of us are keeping track through our checkoff sheets. All of us are watching these other centers for problems. All of us are inviting new children from other centers to come and join our center. And we are trying not to yell. I like to get up and go get the children. But if they're close by, if I'm at this center, I can easily just say, hey, Johnny, will you come over and paint? And if I'm at this center, I can easily get someone at the block center. If I'm at this center, I can just turn around and say, hey, will you come to my center from the campground or from the writing center? So it's a small space, and it seems like it could get really chaotic, but it actually stays very orderly. I would call it very controlled chaos during center time. So that's how I run center time. It runs really smoothly. A lot of times I do centers on the rug, so I like to keep my rug area clear and have it be a clear walkway. And I don't like a lot of playing on there because that usually turns into a lot of wrestling and roughhousing. But we have a lot of centers to choose from in a very small space. But we get it done, and everyone has a lot of fun. We learn a lot.